This one's coming from cheating_stories. It was posted 5 days ago.
I should have looked at that one.
Yeah, it's a pretty good subreddit for this episode.
Why'd you tell me?
Give away my secrets.
Oh my god, we didn't even talk about the cat. The elephant, the cat in the room.
Oh, yes.
If you're watching on YouTube.
This is James Bond. Because he's a tuxedo kitty. And James Bond always wears a tuxedo. But yeah, your family got this for me. It's great. Put this together in about a day.
Yep.
While I was editing. And it was a great little project. I like assembling Legos. That was fun.
He's a cutie. I thought the cats would be scared of him, but they are not.
No, they were very chill.
They were like, they couldn't care less.
They knew he was a poser. So.
Okay, back to your story.
His resting place. Yep.
Sorry.
Small life update there for you guys. We'll get into the bulk of it at the end. My husband's a hoe, and women have no respect for marriage anymore. January 2024 was the beginning of a storm I never saw coming. My husband, 21 male, the man I had vowed to spend my, 23 female, life with, started seeking solace elsewhere. It began innocuously enough. A new coworker named Sarah, 45 female, entered his life. She was his mother's age, and I thought nothing of it at first. But by their second meeting, he confided in her about our private struggles, telling her he was unhappy with the lack of intimacy in our marriage. He texted her on and off for 6 months, a timeline I would only piece together later, and during that time, he used Snapchat to talk to other women as well. Somewhere in that mess, he crossed a line I never imagined he would. He hooked up with his best friend, Kane, and Kane's girlfriend, Sydney. When things didn't go as planned with Sydney, he couldn't get it up. They brought in another woman, Kira, but the same thing happened again. By May, I started noticing changes. My husband was distant, distracted, and irritable. Kane, the friend I had fought to keep in his life for years, started speaking poorly about me over their game chats. I didn't think much of it at the time, but in hindsight, it was another piece of the puzzle. Kane wasn't just a friend. He was someone I had defended for 7 years. His brother was with my sister-in-law. His family and my husband's had turned against him after dark events that I won't detail here, but I saw him as a kindred spirit. My husband's family was cruel to me too, and I thought we were all on the same side. I stood up for Kane when no one else would, even when my husband wanted nothing to do with him. July was when the storm finally broke. One night, I came home to find my husband passed out drunk in our bed, covered in vomit. Normally, when he drank, he was affectionate and sweet, but this time he called me a bitch over and over again, a word he knows I hate. I coaxed him into a shower and he stumbled away. Something in me snapped, so I picked up his phone. What I found shattered me. Sarah was saved under a fake name, Kane, but with no E. But the messages were unmistakable. He told her he loved her, that he wanted her body, that he wanted to run away with her and her child. He said he wasn't happy with me. My hand shook as I scrolled through months of deceit, and then, as if it wasn't enough, I found out Kane knew about Sarah.
Trash.
The final blow came just before Christmas. That's when I learned about the hookups with Kane, Sydney, and Kira. The betrayal was staggering, not just from my husband, but from people that I thought I could trust. I confronted Sydney, hoping for some semblance of remorse, but she was smug, her apologies hollow. She even tried to compare my pain to her Kane, quote, talking to other girls. It wasn't the same, not by a long shot. She had pursued my husband, knowing full well he was married. What's worse is, the next day, Kane proposed to her. It's crazy to think that someone who obviously had no respect for marriage could boast about it herself. My husband is trying to make up for it, but I hate him for it, and I hate the women involved just as much. I've always been shy and have tried my best to be likable because I have a hard time reading social cues and understanding the social norms of society, so I don't actually have any friends or family to fall back on. So since I have no one else to tell, I decided that Reddit loves this kind of shit, and maybe I can get some advice on how to better myself mentally.
Oh, you gotta cut all of them out of your life if you want to be in a better mental space.
Right?
You have to divorce him.
Divorce.
There's no questions asked here. Like,
one of the commenters does on the post say, "So are you leaving him?" And OP replies, "I'm working on it. Since most of our stuff is under both names and I don't have family or friends to fall back on, I'm trying to save up right now." That's so tough.
that's
When
really
you
tough.
don't have any family
You're
or
so
friends
isolated.
support, you are isolated and you're reliant on your partner for life.
Yeah,
That's messed up.
that is. Oh my God. Honestly, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to put myself in this poor woman's shoes, and like, I guess I would just try my best to find people like in similar situations as me. Like, I'm sure there's like Facebook groups or something like for these specific situations, like people who are alone and who have been dependent on their husband and their side of the family and friends.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that could maybe be a first step to find some people who understand you. I think it can go a long way and help you get in a better mental spot. But I feel like regardless, even though, like, yes, it would be super scary to be on your own and have no support after this, I think it's the best thing you need. Like, it's the only option, I think. I don't think you can stay in this relationship when he clearly doesn't care about you. Yeah, I would just say try to get out as fast as you can, even if it's scary. But also try to find people who are in similar situations as you. And honestly, Reddit could be a good place for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You find a whole different network of people, the friends and anything.
Yeah. All right.
Back to you.
Back to me.